Welcome to Forest Fire Rising, the podcast for visionaries and mystics alike. Those who know we are all connected and aren't here for mediocrity, but know they can create anything they desire. A space devoted to helping you root back into your body, your rhythm, and the world around you to become the embodied version of yourself that is safe to receive, express, and blossom into who you always knew you were meant to be. I am your host, Shauna, a college graduate 9-to-5 employee turned creative entrepreneur, breaker of chains, and rhythmic teacher. I am here to guide those who are ready to get back into the flow of nature and flow of themselves. I am on this journey with you, and I am so excited to walk through it together. Hello, beautiful souls, beautiful people, beautiful children of earth, women, men, people. I'm so happy to have you here for another episode of Forest Fire Rising. I am feeling so good this week for a few different reasons. It is getting warm out. The sun is shining today. It is above 50 degrees. We are getting warm weather. Spring is starting to actually be here in the Midwest. If you are from the Midwest, you know that sometimes we get some fake springs. So we have had some good weather, but then we've also had some snowstorms, and I think spring is finally here. I planted my garden seeds last week. Your reminder, now is the time to get your garden seeds planted. Start your seeds inside if you have the capacity and resources to do that. If you care about self-sufficiency, if you care about the planet, about people, about your health, and knowing where your food comes from, you should be growing your own food, and it is time to plant those seeds, and I am just so stoked. Gardening makes me so happy. I'm so happy that the garden is officially started. The plants are growing. I have some more UVB in my life after a few months of no UVB. So incredible. I am so happy to have the sun back in my life. I am so happy to have sunshine. I'm so happy to be able to get morning sunlight, which is something I was doing during the winter time because I know how important it is. But it's easy now to regulate my circadian rhythm and actually get that morning sunshine and let the sun get on my skin, absorb those light codes in my eyeballs. Honestly, I don't know if I've probably talked about it already on an episode. Of course, I have not done a whole episode about it. I definitely should, but regulating my circadian rhythm is one of the best things I have done. So I go out in the morning, I get light codes in my eyes and on my skin. I tell my body that it is time to start waking up, time to start producing, a little bit of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. We want that to spike in the morning. I look at the sun before I look at my phone. I try to do it before I turn any other lights on. I'll admit, I don't get up right at the sunrise. It's always good. It is good to look at the sunrise, but I just make sure I get morning sun within an hour. I try to be up within an hour of when the sun comes up to get some of that sunrise light in my eye to tell my body that the earth is waking up. The place I live is waking up. Time to start being awake. And I know that we are, it's a whole nother conversation. I shouldn't even really get into this right now, but we are told, the sun is so bad, but the sun is so healing, and it is so important to get sunshine in our skin, on our skin, in the right method. So the sun can be so healing if you use it in the right way. And I'm just so excited to have some UVB back in my life I just can't wait. I've been thinking about going swimming, jumping in the river for so long. It'll probably still be at least a month until I can do that, or do that comfortably anyway. I could definitely go cold plunge in the river, which I have done and I do love doing, but I'm just so excited for the springtime to be here and warm weather to be here and for summer to be here. So happy. I can feel my vibes just rising. And another reason I feel so good today, which is actually what this episode is going to be about, is because this week I completed a 60-hour water fast. And water fasting is one of the main, it's such a It's one of the main ways that we can heal our body for free. You know, it's one of the main free healing things that we can do for our body. And, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, it is so just, it allows our body to refresh. It allows our body to just have like a whole reset when we fast. So I completed a 60-hour fast. So I did 2 full days plus an overnight. And my goal this week, actually, I was going to do 84 hours, but I did have some errands that I had to run on day 3 that I really just, my body was telling me, I'm all about listening to my body, of course. My body was telling me I just needed my full strength for that day. So I did slowly break it. And also, disclaimer, this should go without saying, I am not a fasting professional. I am not a medical professional. Like, don't even, this is my experience. I'm sharing my experience. I'm sharing what I know. But if you are interested in doing something like a fast, of course, you can reach out to me. I can share extra resources and more specifically what I did if you don't hear it in this episode. But if you are interested in doing something like a fast, don't just take this episode as a guide. Go and do more research, please. 100%. But the reason that one would want to fast is because it allows your body to just take a break from the constant stress and energy of digestion. It takes so much energy. Our body is putting so much energy and focus into digesting every single day. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. We are eating every single day. You know, hopefully you eat 3 good meals a day and a snack or 2. And so your body is having to move that through, take the nutrients, send the nutrients where they need to go, eliminate waste, and that is a long process. It is what your body is doing all the time. And so when we give our body a break from that, we allow our body to put energy and focus elsewhere into things such as cell repair. It resets some of our brain chemicals, which is one thing that I really love about it as a neurospicy woman. Having a little brain reset is always so good. A fast is something that I do 1 to 2 times a year. I did it this week in kind of a group setting. So the group actually did it a little earlier than me. I delayed my fast because of my menstrual cycle, but I'll get into that a little later in the episode to talk about, you know, women and fasting, because there is a lot of back and forth on if women should fast or not. And absolutely, we can fast. You just have to do it really, really intentional. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But our bodies, you allow your body to put energy into other places that you need healing. And specifically this week, I didn't really need physical healing, but I definitely was super excited for the emotional and mental healing that I would get out of fasting. So it really allows your body to, you know, pause so that you can focus more on introspection, on your spirituality, on your creativity, and really see what comes through when your body is not expending 80% of its energy on digesting food. So it takes about 12 hours to completely reset the digestive system. So this is like a good minimum. I would say I probably don't do this every day. Let's see. Oftentimes I do like a little sweet treat at night before I go to bed. And then I wake up and I definitely have breakfast within an hour of waking up, because I wake up hungry, which is honestly, it's a good sign. You should wake up hungry. It means your metabolism and your hunger cues are looking pretty good. So I don't typically do 12 hours every night, but that is what it takes to reset your digestive system. So after 12 hours, you will start seeing some of the benefits of fasting. So that's when your body is starting to take take that energy and put it other places. And we see after about 18 hours, your body is in ketosis, which is where your body is using fat storage instead of glucose or carbohydrates as energy. And that would be something that would be appealing to somebody who is trying to fast to jumpstart something like fat loss or boost their metabolism, or you've probably heard of the keto diet or the carnivore diet. I personally don't support any of those. I don't support any diet, actually, that cuts out whole food groups. I think that we are supposed to be in a balance in the middle, personally, as humans, as biological creatures. And I don't think cutting out any food group is best for our health. So, but I digress. After 18 hours, your body is in ketosis. You are using your fat storage as energy. You probably are feeling pretty hungry. The first day is not that hard. I mean, it's a little annoying, but as long as you're doing things that, I wouldn't say distract yourself, but during a fast, you definitely want to plan for stuff and do things like journaling, meditation. Easy things like walking and stretching is the exercise you want to do. You definitely are not wanting to go and lift heavy weights or do some insane cardio or hiking or anything during your fast. I did lots of long walks. I watched a few movies. I read a lot of my book. I have been so into reading lately, and so that was a super duper good reason for me to just spend a couple hours with my head in a book. I have been reading the Fourth Wing books. One thing about me, I'm super into books. Romantasy, fantasy, whimsy, love it all. So it was a really good chance, a really, really good time for me to read. And of course, you also want to do things that really get you into your connection with your soul, your spirit, your intuition, because while our bodies are not using the energy to digest physically, we are really allowed to tap in to our emotional and spiritual bodies, and you will get so many downloads, so many revelations. If you're going through a hard time, or you're like really set on like you have a hard decision or something to make, doing a short fast can really open up and give you so much clarity on things that you are needing to have, because you are able to tap into your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, and really just see beyond the physical. And then after 2 days of fasting, let's see. Sorry guys, my phone gave me a notification. I did turn it on airplane mode this week. I know last episode I had a lot of distractions, but now it's going to die. So hopefully we will get through this episode. But after 2 days, your dopamine is completely reset. And if you don't know how dopamine works, so we all have a baseline dopamine level. And dopamine is our reward hormone. We get really, it really affects how we feel when things happen. And when it really affects, it's why people crave sugar, it's why a lot of people get addicted to drugs, because they're chasing a dopamine spike. And after 2 days of fasting, your dopamine is reset. So we all have a baseline dopamine, and based on our expectations and what we're giving ourselves, what happens, the foods we eat, the things we do, where we are finding joy, our baseline can go up and down. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but after 2 days, it's completely reset, which I think is amazing. I definitely, coming out of winter, was feeling a little bit of, meh moods, and I'm so excited to go into spring with this new reset. Now I'm able to do things like build new habits, don't look at my phone in the morning, and it is going to make such a big impact on me now that my dopamine is reset. I'm able to implement some habits and they will start working right away. So now I have a clean slate to do things where I'm finding dopamine from things like earthing, things like hugging a tree, cold plunges, healthy food, and I'm able to not find dopamine from things like TV, instant gratification, shopping, looking at my phone, doom scrolling. It gives you a full clean slate to switch some of those habits. So after 2 days, you get there. And then after 2.5 days, you are in what is called autophagy, which is kind of a fancy word for cell turnover. So 2.5, no, I meant a day and a half. So 2 days for the dopamine reset, about a day and a half, 24-ish to 36 hours for autophagy, which is a really fancy word for cell turnover. And it is like cell regeneration, cell eating, where your cells will get rid of basically damaged, dying, optimized cells, so then your body is able to create new ones. Why fasting does this, I'm not sure, but I imagine it has to do with what I was saying earlier, the energy your body is able to, it's probably something that's like our bodies are not like, they don't have to do it, but when we have the energy to do it, when we have the space, when our bodies have the time, we do that. So we have autophagy, cell turnover, and this is going to help our skin health. It's going to help our organ health. It is going to help all our body systems. Like I am telling you, after this fast, my skin was glowing. My eyes were so bright. They are. I mean, if you see me on this YouTube video, I just look great. But that is just what happens when you do a fast like this. And then also after about the same time, your body starts to produce more human growth hormone. So that's another thing that helps with our healing and recovery, which I was really into this benefit when I first did my fast, because I'm really into the gym and lifting weights. So the idea that I could spike my human growth hormone to get bigger muscles and better muscle recovery was really amazing to me. And then basically the longer you fast, you just get deeper and deeper into these benefits. And it's so good. So some main things that I really noticed after fasting was that I just was in such a good mood when I stopped. When I was done fasting, my skin was glowing. I said that already. I slept so good, even during the fast, which is honestly a little surprising because you would think that you would be hungry and uncomfortable, but your body is just so like, you don't get weak. A couple of people when I was doing it asked me if I was feeling weak or anything like that, but no, it's more just like tired, low energy, and chill. Like I'm definitely not going out dancing or jumping off the walls or filling my schedule up, but I am doing super laid back things, and my body is just so, it was low energy, so I was able to sleep so good, and I slept a full 9 hours every day I fasted and every day since, which is so good for me because usually I will sleep maybe 6 hours, and I want to sleep 8, but I just wake up early. And yeah, so I was able to sleep good. That also probably contributed to how good I felt. Getting a good night's sleep for the first time in a few months felt so good. My mood was good. I definitely could feel the full brain reset. My goals were more clear. What I wanted to focus on in the coming seasons was more clear. I got clarity that way. I got closer to my relationship with food and water. I'm so excited. Like I don't even want junk food at all. no desire for that. The first things I wanted to eat was healthy food, so what I did was to prepare for the fast. So you definitely don't just jump right into a fast. You prepare your body, right? So right away I cut out grains and coffee. And then I slowly cut out dairy so this is starting like a week before I was going to fast. So I didn't have any bread, no rice, no oats, mainly just good protein, eggs, chicken, also no red meat. You want to start giving your body things that are really easy to digest and that go through your body pretty quickly. So lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of hydrating stuff. You want to up your water intake a whole bunch while you're doing this. And then a few days before the fast, you will cut out dairy and fats and oils and stuff like that. And then by the time you get to the fast, you're basically just eating lots of fruits and vegetables, sweet potatoes, broth, and then you start your fast. And I mentioned earlier that I had postponed my fast from when my community was doing it because of my menstrual cycle. So I was actually scheduled to start my period the day that they were starting their fast, which is definitely not something you want to do. You want to do it when your body is in an optimal state to take on the extra stress of fasting. So there is a lot of debate on if women should fast, if it is good for us or not. And people in so many cultures and so many different places around the world have some sort of fasting in their culture and in different religions, like in Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Mormonism. There is so many different ways that fasting comes into play. So I think that it's absolutely not true that women should not fast. However, women should be intentional about fasting. So fasting is not something you are going to do to balance your hormones. It's not something you are going to do to create foundational health. You want to already have those foundational health things set. So you already want to have balanced hormones. You already want to have a regular cycle. You want to already have good digestion and bile flow going. You want to already be feeling pretty good and motivated. Like, this is not a fix. This is not a foundational thing. It is a full reset and cleanse, but it is not something that you're going to do to fix anything. It's like an added bonus. You want to already have like super duper good foundational health before you go into something like a fast. And then the fast will give you so many deeper benefits, but you will not get all those benefits if you do not already have good foundational health. So that's why I just want to say again, do not take this podcast as a guide for fasting. Go do some research. Make sure that your body is already in a good state to be able to handle something like a fast. And so personally, I have a regular cycle. My hormones are regulated. I'm very healthy and active. So I was feeling really good to do a fast. But we want to do it in our follicular phase because that is when our body is best to take on this extra stress, because fasting does raise cortisol. It does stress our body out a little bit. It does suppress estrogen and progesterone production. It does stress the liver out a little bit. Also, it does do all those things. So we want to do it in a space where our body is fully ready to receive the benefits that fasting is going to give us. So you want to do it, in your follicular phase, because we do not want to give our body extra stress in our luteal phase or during our menstrual cycle, because that will just not be fun. That would not be fun at all. So if you are a woman, you absolutely can fast. You just want to be intentional about it. And then to break your fast, so when I broke my fast, I had some broth, and then I had some kombucha. You want to get some probiotics in you to really start repopulating your gut flora. And I personally decided to do liquid for a couple more days to kind of extend the benefits of the fast. So liquid is a lot easier for our body to digest. It gets into our systems quicker. So if you think about it, not eating at all gives you a full break from digestion, and liquid is going to give your body a little break. So I wanted to extend that a little bit, and that has been going very well as well. So yeah, my relationship with food, my relationship with water, I am so happy that I was able to drink hydrogen-rich, living, structured water during this fast. You guys know how much I am so passionate about water and the kind of water we're drinking. So I'm so happy that I was able to have water that was really going to cellularly hydrate me while my cells were turning over, while my body was healing, and I was just giving my body the best. And it always connects me back with what I do, why I'm so passionate with sharing water information. And I remember how healing and amazing this water really is when I do a fast, and all those things and it really connects you fully with your body as well, because you are paying more attention to your cues. You're paying more attention to what your body feels like when it's hungry. Oh, and another benefit from fasting is getting really comfortable being uncomfortable. And that is something I often struggle with. If I'm hungry during the day, like if it's almost lunchtime, but I'm just trying to finish this one task, I'm probably not doing that task super intentionally and good, because I'm just thinking about what I'm going to eat. But when I'm doing a fast, I know that I'm not going to eat. So I have to practice really settling into that discomfort and getting more in tune with discomfort. Like one of my coping mechanisms with discomfort is I will grab my phone. We're all so guilty of that. I definitely am grabbing my phone because I was bored and getting comfortable with boredom and discomfort. So I definitely am going to keep doing a fast every year, at least, maybe every 6 months, whatever my body asks for. But I highly recommend it. And I think it's such a great way to go into spring and to really get both my physical and mental spaces ready for the amazing spring and summer season that are ahead. Really get me open to receiving all of the abundance and blessings that I know are coming my way. And I just think it's so cool and special that we have this tool right at our fingertips. And I completely recommend looking into doing a fast and looking into the benefits of it. And I am so grateful I got to share this experience with you all, and I hope you guys have a very beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you're tuning in from, whatever time it is. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful springtime season. If it's sunny, go get some sunshine, go drink some water, go get your feet on the earth, all of it. I love you all so much.